All right, everyone, this is going to be kind of a funny rant because the USA Today, which like maybe 20 years ago you probably knew what it was, now it basically you shred it and line your bird cages with it if you still get it. Their circulation is massively down and they've already downsized, I think, once. Some of these newspapers, they don't even have print anymore. I think they still do. I'm not sure why because they're not sending it to many people. But the USA Today was claiming that the Trump campaign, the America First campaign, had shirts that were based on the Nazi eagle. And people, of course, pointed out that the eagle is the symbol of the United States and has been since the late 1700s. Initially, by the way, they wanted to make it the turkey. Benjamin Franklin wanted to make it the turkey because he's like, well, there's like eagles all over the world, just only turkeys here. Shouldn't that be our symbol? Because, he was very much scientifically minded and kind of eccentric. He was a member of one of those Hell Devils clubs at the time and used to hang around with prostitutes in France. France probably has like 10,000 illegitimate children in the process. But the eagle was chosen probably because it's less derpy, because it's more predatory, because it's more inspiring maybe. I have to say Benjamin Franklin getting his way would have been bad on that one. But people pointed out that there's no connection between Nazi Germany and the America First campaign, except in the jaded minds of the USA Today and the other propagandists. And it was funny because they make the tweet, and they got massively ratioed. I've got it archived because they'll probably take the initial tweet down at some point. When you get ratioed, people often slink off into a corner when that happens. The only time I get ratioed is when I put ketchup on various foods, so I'm looking for new ways to weaponize this fact, by the way. I figure that any attention's good attention when it's culinary in nature. But the USA Today was like, well, it's been claimed. Yes, it's been claimed by the Lincoln Project. The Lincoln Project, which is a far-left Marxist group, too, claims that the Nazi eagle was used, the clip art used in this shirt is closer to the Nazi eagle because it's like, I guess it's facing in the wrong direction or something, which is complete bullshit. Nobody would look at the shirt and with a clear mind suggest that it had anything to do with Nazi Germany. They'd say the eagle is an ubiquitous American symbol. It's literally used, fucking, the bald eagle is practically the sole symbol when you think of the United States if you're doing branding and stuff like that. That or the flag are the two that you use. The stars and bars or a fucking eagle, a fucking bird. and then I guess it was claimed by this group, far left group. The USA Today apparently finds this newsworthy, and then so they decided to make a story about it, and they're like, fact check, our verdict, true. Yeah, and then if you actually look at the article, they already sanitized it. It's like, well, no, it's true that it's being claimed. So they use that as a workaround. They get ratioed then on their response to their own tweet, which they shouldn't have even made. They should have just fucking removed it. Why don't you come out with a retraction and say, oh, by the way, yeah, we probably shouldn't listen to such far-left groups as the Lincoln Project. The Lincoln Project basically is like expat Republicans that have gone far left. And so they're rhinos now. And they're never Trumpers, and of course then, if they see this, they are constantly looking for ways to tie Trump into Nazi Germany because they've got Trump derangement syndrome. And so despite the fact that no reasonable, rational, sane person would suggest that the use of an eagle on a piece of clothing attire has anything to do with Nazi Germany, and instead would presume that it has to do with this particular symbol of the United States we've been using for several centuries, they're deranged, and so they don't think that. The USA Today finds this perfectly acceptable. I could barely find a single example of anyone agreeing with the USA Today on this post. This is an example of the kind of corporate bullshit propaganda that is so far beyond the pale at this point that it becomes self-satire. This is the tabloid Inquirer-style news, so-called, of today. This is why the USA Today and other groups are dying. Because the nonstop sensationalism can only purity spiral. It can only destroy itself over time. What happens is you get people whipped up into a frenzy. Like years ago, it was basically, well, Trump is a bigot. He's low-key bigoted. He's dog-whistling to people. Over time, we've seen that morph, though. Each time that a tale of his supposed bigotry is told, it becomes more and more hyperbolic, to the point now where his campaign used an eagle on its campaign attire. It slapped an eagle on this shirt. This is now likened to Nazi Germany because, well, the Nazis used eagles too. Well, yeah, they adopted that from Prussia, from their German forebears that came long before the Nazi Party existed. in turn from prior groups. The eagle has been used on flags and insignia and mottos and so forth for 1,000 fucking years in most countries. And if you go back, you can go back before Rome and the eagle was already being used. I think, isn't it a two-headed eagle for, say, it's the Russian one. It's two-headed because it's mutated from all the radiation, maybe. I don't know. Maybe it's a vulture. It's picking apart its own carcass. People at the USA Today are scumbags. Look, again, you have to be either deranged or being a liar and disingenuous to interpret this as a true statement that the eagle has something to do with the Nazis. Only if you assume, prior, that Trump is a Nazi and dog whistling to bigots or something. That's number one. You'd probably believe it if you posit it that way. Or number two, if you just ignore all reality and you've got Trump derangement syndrome so bad you can't bring yourself to fact check this, think that it's, worth fact checking for some reason in the first place. I'm not exactly sure why. And then determine that it has something to do with the NSDAP instead of being, again, literally the symbol of the United States is an eagle. That's the national bird. That's our carcass-picking mascot. The one that rips its prey apart and soars through the skies with a single tear from its eyes and all that patriotic stuff. Trump is a Nazi. See, he's using the eagle now on his campaign stuff. He's using an eagle. That's about all. Peace out.